So today we are going to cover a few features available in the sheet metal. So these are the three features that we are going to cover here. In the continuation lecture, we will cover all the other features available in the sheet metal operation. Before performing our sheet metal operation, we have to create one sketch. So we will continue with the sketch. So before performing this operation, let's create one sketch here. So go to sketch and select one of the plane and create a sketch. First, we will try to make a close contour, close sketch, and then later we will see for the open also. So what is the difference we will see there? So I'm first making a close contour. So I'm giving the dimension around 150 and 100. So if you click OK here and if go to sheet metal and go base flange and tab select, and it is asking about select a sketch that you want to perform the sheet metal operation. So I'm selecting this sketch. So uh, it is converting our sketch into sheet metal. So if you can see that it is by default creating some thickness of this sketch. We can set layers. So we can also manually change this value. So if you want to make a plate of 1 mm thickness, you can just put 1 mm here. And if you see here, there is an option called reverse direction. By default, what is happening? It is creating thickness just behind our sketch. If you reverse the direction, the thickness will be provided in front of this our sketch also. So this is how base flange works for close contour. If you want to actually apply for it for the open contour, so what will happen? So I just deleted our sheet metal. If you just click on Control Z, it will reappear again. So what I want to do is I want to delete this. I don't want to use this one. So just I will edit here only. So I'm going to visible our sketch and edit this. So I'm just going what I'm going to do actually. I'm just making this sketch open. So I will delete this edge. And here you will notice that I'm not providing any fillet here. So we will see how fillet will be generated in further. So this is look like our open contour and click OK. So if you go on sheet metal and base flange, select this sketch. So what is happening? It is creating a sheet metal part uh, al- uh, uh, along this sketch. So as the previous seen that as same as the previous, if you see here, it is asking about the direction to which direction it will be provided the thickness. So by default we have it is creating 1 mm thickness because we have given 1 mm thickness to earlier. So if you want to change it, like if you want to create 2 mm thickness, you can just keep 2 mm. Okay, so it is completed. Just go to edit feature. So I've given a thickness of 2 mm. So if you reverse the direction, just thickness will be provided outside our sketch, and if you make it unchecked, it will give inward direction. So if you see here, as we discussed that we haven't provided any fillet at this corners, so it is asking about the fillet that you want to provide at the corners. So it's a corner. So let's make it around 3 mm of fillet. So it is creating 3 mm fillet at this corner. So if you want to extend it, if you want to increase the length, you can go here in direction 1 and you can increase the thick length along 50 mm. You can also increase the direction in the opposite direction also. So click on this direction too, and give length of 50 mm or something, 100 mm, and click OK. So this is our sheet metal part is generated from our open sketch. So if you want to flatten this sketch to see that is perfectly okay or not. So if you see that it is perfectly okay and the part is flattening. So unflatten this. So this is all about our base flange and tab. One point is there that we have not covered here. What is that bend allowances, the scale factor? Basically, whenever you convert into sheet metal, what will happen? Uh, in this section, if you see here, this portion, so in the outer has different radius, fillet radius, inner has different radius. So what is happening? It's consider some amount of allowances here, uh, material allowances you can say, to bend and do not make any crack or uh, uh, sort of distortion here. So that is kind of a bend allowances we provide here to compensate the material requirement. So next thing we are going to see how we can convert any 3D object to into the sheet metal. So we will delete this our uh, sheet metal part, and we will try to make a we will edit this sketch and just delete all these things, and we just create a simple rectangular box first to see the simple. I just created a rectangle and I'm just extruding it. Okay, it's better. I think we should make it on top plane so that it can be proper visible. You can also make it any plane. That is not a. So I'm just to make a rectangle here on the top plane, and I'm going to extrude it. So I'm extruding it about 60 mm height, and for to understand more clear, I'm just giving some draft here. I'm giving 15 angle draft at the outward direction. So from here you can change the direction of draft provided. So if you click on this, draft angle will be provided from the outside. So you can say that from the vertical, the draft will be provided outside. So I just click here, and this is our 3D object you can say. And if we simply go to sheet metal and click on this convert sheet metal, so what you basically need to do is there are various options you have to select. The first is it is asking the select a fixed entity. Whichever the entity you want to fix here, you have to select that one. So let's make. I want to fix this bottom face. So all sheet metal will perform as from the bottom face. So bottom face will be considered as a fix, and these remaining sides will be folded to convert it into sheet metal. So I'm fixing this bottom face, and it is asking about the thickness, what thickness you want to provide for your sheet metal. So by default it is taking 1 mm, so I just give it to let's take it around 1.5, and it is asking about the thickness direction. So if I give it to reverse thickness, yeah, and check this box, it will give the thickness inside. If you want to see if you want to see the thickness it is providing inside or outside, uh, you have to do one thing first before doing this. So let's do one thing. Go to surface. Surface tool is also tab is also available. If not, you can go from just right click here and go to tab and go to surface and check this box. Okay, so surface will appear here. So actually we want to see the thickness is reversing its direction or not. So what we have to do that. So I'm going to surface and then select delete face, and in here I'm just going to delete the top face. Make sure that you have selected the delete option and click OK. So our top face is deleted, so all the inner faces is visible here. So if you go to convert to sheet metal, if you select this face, and it is now by default it is taking downward direction. If you reverse this, you will be able to see the thickness inside here. See, so this is our bottom face, and the thickness is providing in upper side. So we have provided the face. So let's delete this face. We don't want to use this. So just go to sheet metal and select the bottom face. Thickness we have provided. If you it is Now you are not able to change this dimension because that is already fixed because we have first performed this. If you want to change it, just click on the override default parameters. You can now change the values here. So this we have given 1.5 on thickness. So what you have to do next? Bend edges. You have to select the bend edges, whichever the edges will be going to bend. So whatever the edges which are connecting to this our you can say fixed face, that will be going to as a bend edge. So we have to select all the connecting edges, which is the part of this fixed plate. So I have selected all the four connecting edges. So uh, the next thing that the another thing you have see here, when it is converted into our sheet metal, some corner will be get open. Whatever the this corners, this edges will be get open. So if you they have opened, it must have some gap here. So that gap is here. You can control that gap. If you want to make it like don't want to make it 2 mm, just you can make it to 1 mm. If you change 1 mm, it is come closer here. And if you want to make it 2 mm, just make it 2 mm. So I'm not changing other parameters like K factor and all these things. Just make it as it is. So if you click OK, so our part is converted into sheet metal. So this is how our solid body will be converted. So basically, actually, in real life, if you see that, if you uh, if you make it flatten, just make it flatten. See, if you make a sheet metal in this kind of shape, like cut from here, cut from here, you can able to fold it. You can make able to fold it and convert into this shape like. And we have also seen that how we can control the gap from here so that you can make some kind of weld or okay. So if we see here, let's suppose it is something kind of like I have to select this face and convert entity. Okay, I'm just going to extrude a little bit. Okay, so let's suppose our 3D model is look like this. So how do we perform for this operation? So go to sheet metal and convert sheet metal entities. So first thing it is asking about fixed entity. So I'm just going to select this bottom face. Okay, so we have to select the bottom face. So let's make thickness this time is 1 mm, and I'm keeping the direction at downside. And next, the bend radius will be applicable when you provide the bend edges. So whatever the bend you radius you provide, that will be provided here, from where the bend is applying. So bend edges, we have to select the bend edges, whatever the edge connecting to our fixed face, we have to select that. Once you have seen that, in this box, we have selected the edges for whichever the connected to our fixed body, but it is applying up to the first portion. If you want to connect this one also, what you can do. when this face is connecting to this is also connected to our sheet metal post. So now you can click these edges to connect the whole body into a sheet metal. So just select these four edges, and you just and here you can maintain the gap and other all things. So I'm just giving 1 mm and click OK. So you can see that our part is converted into sheet metal. So if you flatten this part, you can see that this part is look like in the flat sheet. So you can cut this part in this manner, and it will come into this kind of sheet metal form. So this is how you can use your sheet metal, convert 3D model into sheet metal. For complex geometry, you can also do that for also. So okay, into a 3D model to sheet metal conversion, there is one more thing you need to cover is, so let's delete this sheet metal, delete this also. I'm just going to apply on the simple sketch. You can also try for the that complex geometry also. So what we are going to do is, I'm just going to select this face and creating one line, center line. You can say you can go here and make it normal view, and you can also click Control 8 from your keyboard. So I'm just selecting light and creating one line uh, at the mid. So this is our line. So we just go to sheet metal and just convert this to sheet metal. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are selecting we are going to fix the geometry, fix the bottom face. Okay, so this is not the face. Select this face. Okay. So now we are going to select the connecting edges. So this time we are going to select this edge, this edge, this edge. Okay. I'm not going to select this edge because I'm not folding this plate from this side. So one thing we need to do is rib sketch. Rib sketch is actually the sketch that we are going to select from which the plate is going to open. That is, you can say that this portion will be going to open. Better I can apply and then we will see. So select rib sketch this line. Okay, better we have to close it first. Now we should perform. So we are going to select bottom face and bend edges. We can select this three connecting edges. I'm not going to select this one. So then you go to rib sketch. Just select this line. Okay, and then go to here and select this sketch. So this line and this line. Okay, and click on OK. So what you will see here in this time, as we seen earlier, that all the four sides are individually opening from its this edge. Okay, you can folding from this edge, but now this time the back side face is folding from this face, and this from this line, and this face from this line. But this front face is not folding from the bottom side. It is folding from this edge. You can say this edge of this flattened surface and this edge of this flattened surface. If you unflat this portion, you can see the front plate is not there, and the whatever the front portion is there, it is converting from this connecting plate. So this is one thing you can use if there is a option. There is a provision you have to follow that the plate should be open from this side, not to the whole plate is opening from front side. So this is one thing on the sheet metal. The next thing that we are going to cover is lofted bend. So for lofted bend, uh, third and the last thing that we have to cover here is the lofted bend. So lofted bend is basically same as the features. If you have performed the features here, it is same as similar like that. The one thing that is different here that the contour should be open. So for that, we just going to front plane and make some rectangle here, and from the rectangle, I'm just making some two center line so that I can cut a small amount of portion here. Just to make this line mirror about this. So I'm just trimming this portion. Just drag the mouse over the line. It will trim your portion. So this is our first sketch. Similarly, make second sketch on some parallel plane. So I'm just going to this features, reference geometry, and plane, and make give first reference front plane and give some distance to 150. Okay, so click OK and click on this plane and go to sketch and make some other geometry, or you can also make the same geometry also. So click OK, and the same thing we have to do for here also. You can just directly click this line and convert here. Click this line, convert here, and click both line and make it for construction. Okay, so just go to tray and drag over this line, and it will delete your line. So this is our two open uh, sketch. You can give some fillet here, fillet radius around these corners. Click OK, just exit. So our both sketch are ready. So go to sheet metal and click on lofted bend. So it is asking about the profile. So select both profile. First this one, then second this one. So it is connecting our profile using the sheet metal. So if you see that, so there are various number of options, and there is a control points here available. So you can, if you there is a facet value. If you change the facet value based on the facet value, it will create a more fine or more coarse connection between these two profiles. If you let's suppose give it is 1 mm, it is giving more coarser value. See, if you give a very small value, it will more refine. So what is actually mean here? So if you see that there is this one is our circle, but when it is connecting this through this line, this will connect with linear line, you can say, and there is some gap between this our circle and this normal line. So that gap is actually here. So if the gap is the minimum, so more the closer line will be appear here, and it will more look like circle. So if you click OK, there is also number of bend. You can also provide the number of bend also. So just click OK. Okay, so this our sheet metal part is converted here. So if you just flat it here, you will able to see how that the flat of this sheet metal portion will appear here. So all the lines that are marked here will show in your flat portion. That flat line will be able to use when it is going to in the construction phase. So it will easy to understand how that folding is occurring. So it means that the number of lines will be decided. The how the number of folding will be appear here. That will be decided based on the spline. Okay. So this is how our loft bend works.